was lit. I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause I took no risks. My bitch, you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When the not saving, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out for this. I never switch, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist,
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Oakland Raiders. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Right there. Monday, down. 180. Right Monday, down. Push him back. Kill.
On first down, Carr. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. This is Jalen Richard, the fourth-year man from Southern Miss. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Now the third leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Carr now to throw. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Well, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care. That is caught by Brown. Touchdown, Raiders. Antonio Brown, his second touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Cousins and the Vikings with a first and 10 at their own 22. Now the rookie from Boise State, Alexander Madison. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Tighten up, tighten up. Pull it together.
He's coming. Double up, double up.
Black. Sponge. No.
Here's Cousins. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great. And they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing. But I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
53 is mine. Hey, here I come. Here I come. Two. Here I come.
Check 50.
Check safety.
Cousins. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. Now, keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first-quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
From a defensive back, you remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense. Everybody wants a piece of that pie.
Here's Madison running on 1st down. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Alexander Madison, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point up and good by Bailey, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Carr. This is caught. It's Ryan Grant. A gain there of 21 yards.
A gain of 21 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
A run for Nick Chubb, and he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
It's going to be a long day.
On the draw, Richard. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. The pass complete to Ryan Grant. And he's got this down to the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
First down, Raiders.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for them, too.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Like Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams came to the Raiders in March. Came up the coast from L.A., where he caught 41 balls last year with the Chargers. His best year was 2016 when the Chargers were still in San Diego. Over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, and the Raiders really have high hopes for this 27-year-old receiver.
No gain on the play. And it brings up 3rd down.
The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2. These two teams all tied after 1. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
180. Hey, we're good. 180.
Into the red zone. It's Carr. This is caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Derek Carrier. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That'll be taken in the end zone. Vikings are in for the touchdown.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys fielded that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now the pass to Grant, and he's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Carl come up here with a 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. On the ground, it's Chubb. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. From the gun, it's Carr. He's going deep for Brown. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr as his guys are able to regain the lead. So that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Check. Slam.
Line out. Hey, no, easy.
Tighten up.
One touch.
Cousins now. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
You go tight. You got tight.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
First down. First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Kill.
Lucky 48.
Slam.
They'll run it with Madison. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
One.
Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. He won't find a ton of space following the display of power as he's down just inside the 45.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
2 yards. It's 4th down.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. I think they're just a product of trying to buy themselves 5 extra yards.
And they want to help their punter out, right? Help with the angle, trying to pin the ball deep. That's exactly what they did there.
Here's Britton Colquitt to punt this one away. Back deep, Antonio Brown. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll start the drive with Washington. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Here's the Raiders punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
At their own 39-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And let's get this,
Going on the ground with Madison. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Hey, watch this, watch this. Lance 50. Lights 59. Here we go. Check 59.
Back to the ground on first down. Here's Madison. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Play fake. Cousins. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Check 52. 49.
Hey, flipper. 49.
On third down, they run with Madison. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Three butt.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. The Raiders on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Carr. Throwing middle. And it's complete. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. The final shot here before half for Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. But they will not be able to capitalize as time has run out here on the first half of play. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, coughs up the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Tyre Whitehead, top 10 in tackles last year, up to make the play.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to flare up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Wide, get wide. Hey, flipper. He's checking.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Shane Ray. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. Oh, and they had it stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's a give to Madison running right. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They get a good chunk of that penalty yardage back. A gain of 15. 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd down at the 46-yard line.
Two. His team showed up. Check. Watch safety creep. Topper. No. Kill.
Another carry now for Madison. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Well, they had that one snipped out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
180! 300! You got nothing. 55, my God, 55. Hey, seam 6. Hey, it's our house. Mike, 55. Two. They gonna need some therapy after this. Hey, Haywood. Go ahead.
And that'll set him back 5. Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game.
59 Mike, 59 Mike. Check, 59. Here we go. Hey, Echo. Mike's 59. Mike's 59. I'm trying to collect. Where's your heart?
Cousins. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. So the flag thrown for the contact, mark off the yardage.
And sometimes you just read a hitch route way too fast. You get there before you're supposed to, and there's the penalty.
Mike is 59. Mike the 59. Watch the run.
Running from the shotgun with Madison. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Vontaze Burfict. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Monday, down. 180.
Check. Watch 54. I got you.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big 2nd half.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Carr. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Danielle Hunter picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Carr. He's going deep for Brown. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Silver.
Now Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Gary and Conley. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carr. That's going to be caught by Williams for a Raiders touchdown. Make it 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here, and sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Hey, can't. 59, Mike, 59, Mike.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 3 yards to go.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Check 59, Mike. Mike is 59. Mike to 59.
Throwing, Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. 3/4 in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games, but only led the Vikes to just one fourth-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Check 13. Check 13.
Going to run with Madison again. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. We're still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Watching your 5. Rabbit.
They'll run with Madison. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Madison. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lie. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Alexander Madison with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year as his guys are back within a single score. And they got the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Antonio Brown can wreak havoc in so many ways. Here he's able to cause a PI penalty.
He runs at defensive backs with such speed and power. I think it creates panic on their end, and a lot of times they just reach out and grab him, and that's the result there, a pass interference call.
Following the penalty, Chubb. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. On 2nd down, it's Washington. Room here to run. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Following the interception, Cousins steps away. Past the 20. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for Minnesota. 41 yards.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. On the handoff, it's Madison, and the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Alert flare, alert flare, flare.
On 2nd down, this is Madison. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Taking it in from 4 yards out as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So right back to square one. Tied at 28 as he kicks it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play that time for the Raiders. 56 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Now Chubb. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They face a 2nd down, but they are in field goal range. They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time it's 3rd and 3. Carr gives to Rashard. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. Give him a gain of 4. Able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. A 4th quarter score, meanwhile, from Kansas City. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. He's back to throw. If they hold on, a victory there would be their 3rd. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll be taken down at the 18. On the tackle, it's Trey Waynes. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps him in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. On 3rd down, here's Washington. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away.
Let's go, boy. Bring it on.
Vikings now to start their next drive. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for Oakland, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll have another road date next week with the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Foot on the gas, I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the dance, no man up, man, oh deal with the hands, thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans, I do what I want, they do what they can, got it on smash, foot on the gas, I will not crash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle this. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, is glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not